The People's Christ, a summary of C.H. Spurgeon's sermon. In his sermon, The People's Christ, C.H. Spurgeon delivers a compelling message that centers on the accessibility and relatability of Jesus Christ to all people, especially the common man. This sermon is structured around three key themes: Christ's extraction, election, and exaltation. 1. Christ's extraction. Spurgeon begins by emphasizing that Jesus Christ was one of the people. He was not born into an aristocratic family or a position of privilege. Instead, Christ's birth was humble, marking his connection to the common people. Christ, by his very birth, was one of the people. True, he was born of a royal ancestry. Mary and Joseph were both of them descendants of a kingly race, but the glory had departed. A stranger sat on the throne of Judah, while the lawful heir grasped the hammer. His birth in a stable with a manger for a cradle is a testament to his humility and his identification with the lowliest of society. Spurgeon underscores that Christ's upbringing and early life was similarly humble, as he was known to toil in his father's workshop. Had you seen the Holy Child Jesus, you would have beheld nothing to distinguish him from other children, save that unsullied purity which rested in his very countenance. This humble extraction made Christ relatable and accessible, breaking down barriers between the divine and the everyday person. 2. Christ's election. The second key point Spurgeon discusses is the doctrine of election. He boldly confronts the controversy surrounding this doctrine, asserting that Jesus was divinely chosen from among the people. Jesus Christ was elected, chosen. Somehow or other that ugly doctrines of election will come out. Oh, there are some, the moment they hear that word election, put their hands upon their foreheads and mutter, "I will wait till that sentence is over. There will be something I shall like better, perhaps." Spurgeon defends the concept of election by highlighting its biblical basis, specifically pointing out that Jesus Christ himself was elected by God. He argues that divine election is not arbitrary but wise and purposeful. Here it is, one chosen out of the people. Now what does that mean but that Jesus Christ is chosen? This election is part of God's grand design, ensuring that Christ's mission and ministry are divinely sanctioned and rooted in wisdom. 3. Christ's exaltation. The final theme Spurgeon explores is the exaltation of Christ. Despite his humble beginnings and earthly trials, Christ is ultimately exalted and honored. He who is now King of Kings and Lord of Lords was once despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Spurgeon explains that Christ's exaltation is the culmination of his work and sacrifice, which were carried out on behalf of humanity. This exaltation serves as a beacon of hope and a call to humility and service for all believers. Jesus Christ is the people's man. He is the people's friend, aye, one of themselves. Though he sits high on his Father's throne, he was one chosen out of the people. The People's Christ. Spurgeon's sermon eloquently portrays Jesus as intimately connected with humanity, emphasizing his humble birth, divine election, and ultimate exaltation. This message serves to remind believers of Christ's relatability and the profound love and sacrifice he made for all people. Regardless of their social standing, Spurgeon challenges his listeners to see Christ as a figure who transcends social and economic barriers, embodying a gospel that is inclusive and accessible to everyone. By focusing on these key themes, Spurgeon effectively communicates the essence of Christ's mission and encourages believers to embrace a faith that is grounded in humility, service, and an unwavering connection to Jesus Christ.